Mica Miller's estranged pastor husband told her funeral mourners he tried to raise her from the dead when he visited her body after she unalived herself. So I'm Joseph Morris. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss an update. Mica, 30, was found in Lumbee River State Park in North Carolina on April 27th from a self. She took her life days after serving her husband John Paul Miller, 44, with divorce papers, and police ruled it a self-unaliving. Apologies, I can't say the words on YouTube without getting punished by YouTube. So Miller is accused in court documents of grooming Mica for years before they got married, committing her to a hospital to steal her car, and cheating on his first wife with not-of-age churchgoers. There's actually another known predator who works at Solid Rock, so I think this entire church needs to be investigated. The pastor gave an emotional 20-minute speech at a memorial service at Solid Rock Ministries in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina on May 5th. Solid Rock posted the video of the eulogy almost a week later on Saturday, and hundreds of viewers were unnerved by Miller's fake and sad act of damage control. Miller told mourners he visited her body in the morgue 4 times in the week since she passed. So just to remind you, Mica had filed a restraining order during this time, so it was disrespectful of Miller to visit her. And get this, apparently he made the family sign for Mica to be cremated before they were allowed to visit her remains. Some say it was questionable why he was in a rush to get rid of her body with no toxicology report.
It really hadn't hit me. You know, I've gotten to spend, as Christians, of course, we know she's not here and in heaven, and she's, worshiping and joy. It really hadn't hit me. I've gotten to spend, as Christians, of course, we know she's not here and in heaven, and she's, worshiping and enjoying, and probably hadn't even had time to look down here yet. But I got to lay next to her body and spend time with her body about 4 times this week, and each time it still didn't hit me. I thought she was going to wake up. I even tried to raise her from the dead one time this week, and I can't wait to see her again one day.
Mica's family boycotted the service and held their own on the beach instead. Footage of the eulogy sparked backlash on Saturday, with many shocked at Miller's involvement. One wrote that this man is so close to never being able for redemption. John Paul Miller, get on your knees and repent for how you treated this woman. Another added, this is such a low level of blasphemy. This man literally has no shame whatsoever. Others were disgusted that Miller stalked her body 4 times after being subjected to a restraining order in the weeks before her death. Quote, this is the creepiest service. Those are the fakest tears I've ever seen. Seems like he is glad she is gone and rushing the funeral so he can get on with another life. End quote. So Mica called police at least 8 times in the weeks leading up to her passing, fearing for her life. There's also social media posts of her hinting that Miller put his hands on her, and her father says that her body had marks of handprints on it. People are also calling out that the 911 call could be artificial intelligence.
Tell me what's happened.
I'm about to self, and I just want my family to know where to find me.
So what people can do nowadays is clone Mica's voice. Mica was a fantastic singer, so someone can run through her footage singing into a computer to create an exact match of her voice. I mean, there's a lot of footage out there, so they can get a really accurate clone of exactly how she sounds vocally. Then someone can record themselves saying what she said on the 911 call, then overlay her cloned voice on top of it to get an exact replica. So with today's technology, this is very possible, and it's actually available at a consumer level. So you can just do this at home. And what they could do was they can have the cloned 911 call and then dial 911 and then just play it for the person who is receiving the call. Her father found it peculiar that she would be found at this river in North Carolina because she never went there. Also, a fisherman says he heard a cry and a pew-pew go off around the time of her passing at this river. Miller's alibi is that he was at a sporting event about 3 hours away with a woman, which some speculate is his current girlfriend. The apparent girlfriend was the one to vouch for his alibi. And then the cops used an image of his truck going down a highway the day after her passing as proof that he was at this sporting event. But my only problem is that this truck has tinted windows. So how are we supposed to know who's in it? Couldn't he have gotten his current girlfriend to drive that truck back for him? To me, it just sounds like it's too convenient that he was out of town at a sporting event when all this went down. It actually reminds me a lot of the unsolved Missy Beavers case in Texas. Let me know if you guys want a video on that, because I have a lot of thoughts on it. Adding insult to injury, Reverend Charles Randall disputed reports he fired Miller as Solid Rock's pastor, insisting he just benched him so he could heal. He declined to respond to reports that Miller had adult encounters with young girls under the age of 16 whom he met through the church. The claims were revealed after obtaining explosive divorce papers filed against Miller by his ex-wife Allison in 2015. Allison also said he admitted to being addicted to ex-workers. Guys, like, no one is more single than a pastor, am I right? Miller also started an affair with Mica, who at the time was the couple's babysitter and the wife of his best friend, Jeremy Dees. Yeah, that one is really hard to wrap your head around. But apparently, his current wife at the time, Allison, walked in on the babysitter, who was Mica, and her husband, who was JP Miller, getting it on. And that's how she found out. And this guy is a scumbag because he also stole Mica from his best friend in a way. So this guy also apparently gives family counseling at the church. So I don't understand, now that all this has hit the fan, why he's not being let go. I mean, I feel like people do worse things to be let go. So a waitress also claims Miller was sending her flirty messages while his wife was planning to delete herself. So this waitress says that JP was calling her super hot and asking for bikini pics. Yes, this guy is known cheater as well, which is also why people had issues with him being able to visit her body 4 times in the morgue and act like this grieving husband, which he clearly was not. It was revealed that Miller posted a photo of her not wearing a top on Facebook just weeks before her passing. He then admitted to doing this in an email to her later. So yeah, this guy was playing psychological games to Mica in the days, months, years leading up to her passing. I think JP is very much involved in this, whether that means directly or indirectly. I think personally the cops looked at this situation and said, hey, the pastor is a man of God and he would never do such a thing. But as we've learned, and when we're peeling back the layers, this guy is a cheater. He's possibly a predator. And so I really hope that in some way that there is a better investigation involved. Particularly, I would love to know who was at this sporting event and who could vouch for JP outside of his own girlfriend for him being there. Because if he's not directly involved, he's at least indirectly involved by essentially taking her to the edge of a cliff and telling her to jump off. So I want to know, what do you guys think about all of this? Sound off in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe by hitting my face here. And if you made it this far in the video, I know some of you guys comment, you've been following me since the Gabby case. My dog just had a little puppy, so yeah. Let me know your thoughts on that too if you watched this far. Anyway, guys, have a great day. I hope you had a great Mother's Day. Bye.